There was a man we started teaching named Carlos, and he actually was here by himself. His wife and I believe he had 3 daughters who were back home in Mexico, were waiting for him to come back to Mexico. His plan originally was to come here, work really hard, and save up a bunch of money to buy a house in Mexico, and then move back and kind of spend the rest of his life there with his family. And he came to the United States. He found a job. At one point, he was working 3 jobs and sleeping 2 hours a day. 7 days a week he was working, and he only had 2 hours a day that he could sleep. He did that for several months, which is just insane. I don't know how anyone could do that. But he was working, and and he was sending his money to a bank back in Mexico, waiting it to grow until he had enough to buy a house. And I believe he worked for 10 years, and after 10 years he had enough money saved up to buy a house. And so when he called up his bank to kind of make plans, let them know that he's going to be coming back soon so he could withdraw the money, he found out that there was no money there. And what had happened, according to him at least, and I believe him, was just that someone in the bank had been taking his money all these years. In Mexico, apparently there's a lot of corruption, and that's not just in the government, but it can be in private industries as well. And basically he just lost all his money. And so he was super, super upset, as you can imagine. 10 years of his life were just kind of taken away from him. And when we met him, it had been about 5 years since then, because he had decided to he wasn't sure what to do at first, but he decided to stay and keep working in order to pay for his house again, just pay for 2 houses basically, because he lost the one. Yeah, I don't know why I said that, but I just couldn't believe how sad that was, because there were problems associated with being away from their family. Sometimes some of the males especially would be tempted to do improper things with regards to chastity after having been away from their spouse for several years on end. And it's just really, really hard on everyone involved to be that far away from your family. And so that was just an incredible situation. And it kind of prepared him, I think, to really humble himself and be willing to listen to what we had to share.